All right. We're back at it again here today on the Fresh and Funky Show here, ladies and gentlemen. We did not win any games last night. I mean, we won some games, but we didn't win a parlay, that is damn for sure. So let's get into that. We'll get into that right now here. Let's see, where did I? No, that was day before's. There it is. There it is. Yesterday's. All right. Let's remind everybody what we took yesterday in the parlay here. We had the under 220 and a half points between the Pistons and the Wizards. We took the under 218 and a half between the Mavericks and the Pelicans. We took the under 216 points between the Clippers and the Thunder. We took Warriors money line. We took the Chicago Blackhawks money line. We took the Buffalo Sabres money line. And we took the San Jose Sharks money line. Well, the under 220 and a half did cash for us between the Pistons and the Wizards. Then we had the under 218 and a half between the Mavs and the Pelicans. That did not cover for us. That went over. The under 216 between the Clippers and the Thunder. That was a W for us. Warriors money line. That was an L. The Warriors took a fat L. The Chicago Blackhawks on the money line. They got a big victory here. So that was big W's. And the Buffalo Sabres, they got beat up by the Kraken, 5-1, and then the San Jose Shark lost 4-2. So I thought, I'd take Sharks here, hopefully thinking that Vegas was going to lose in the back-to-back, but they did not. So we went 3-4 here. We also had a player bet here that I will read to you now. We took Christian Woods for him to get over a half a block. We had Jeremiah Robinson Earl to get over 9.5 points. We had Andrew Wiggins to have over a half a block. We had Denny Evidigi to get over a half a steal. And we had Chris Paul to have over 9.5 assists. Well, Christian Woods did not have a block, did have a steal at 23 points. Should have took his points props. Jeremiah Robinson Earl, he had I think he had 2 points. He didn't really have very many points, to be honest with you. Wiggins did get the block shots. That was a W there. And Denny Emergy, he got a steal as well, so that covered. And Chris Paul, he had 9 assists. We needed him to get one more, but he did not. So we went whopping 2 for 3, a whopping 3 and 4 in our. So we did not do very well yesterday as far as our picks, our plays, our leans, and our parlays. So hopefully today we'll be able to better that today here. As kind of got a light slate here as we'll run the games down here. We got basically NBA and we have NHL. But we are going to break down week 9 in the college football, give you a little bit of preview, break down some of the odds on some of these games already. Same thing with week 8 here of the NFL season. Tomorrow night we have Thursday night football between the Baltimore Ravens going into Raymond J. Stadium in Tampa Bay to face Tom Brady and the, dare I say, the reeling Buccaneers here. They're really, really. Something is not right down in Tampa. I don't know if it's just Tom or it's just the team or maybe it's just, I don't know. It's a combination of a lot of things, but we'll definitely see tomorrow. That is definitely a great game. We'll break down the number coming up later. But first, let's break down these games that are on the slate today. We have the Orlando Magic and the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Orlando Magic are one of the only teams that does not have a win on the NBA season. Can they get one here tonight against Cleveland? I don't know. I think Cleveland's the better of the teams, but Orlando has been playing tough in some of its games. So we'll see here tonight. The over under. We'll get into the numbers of that here. We got the Atlanta Hawks taking on the Detroit Pistons. Pistons are on a back to back here. So we'll see how well they play against the Atlanta Hawks, who are pretty red hot here. We have the Brooklyn Nets and the Milwaukee Bucks here. Pretty much one of the better games here, the bigger games. We got Kevin Durant versus Giannis Antetokounmpo here. They'll be playing each other in Milwaukee, so that will be a solid game tonight. We have the Charlotte Hornets and the New York Knicks. Definitely going to be a great game in the Garden tonight. We have the Philadelphia 76ers. They finally got their first victory on the. I mean, it had to be against the Pacers, but now they're going up to the north to face Toronto and the Raptors here tonight. Should be an interesting contest, to say the least. Now we have the San Antonio Spurs taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves here. Then we have the Indiana Pacers taking on these Chicago Bulls. We have the Houston Rockets, who ended up getting their first win against happened to be the Utah Jazz. Now they're playing them again. This time it will be in Utah instead of Houston. And last but not least, we got the last two games here. We got the Miami Heat taking on the undefeated Portland Trail Blazers here, believe it or not. And we have the Los Angeles Lakers and the Denver Nuggets here. So we like that here. So a nice slate of games here on the NBA card today here. All right. And we're gonna check out the NHL here. Check out the NHL games here. Let's see here. All right. So far we only have 3 games on the ice tonight. We have the Battle of New York, the New York Rangers taking on the New York Islanders. We have the Edmonton Oilers taking on the St. Louis Blues, and we have the Tampa Bay Lightning taking on the Anaheim Ducks. So that is it's a pretty light slate of sports here. Definitely. Let's get some news and notes here from the sports world here. We'll give you a sporting news update here on all sports here. All right, so all right here, so we got Mac Jones here. We got some update. Mac Jones will be starting against the New York Football Jets here after being benched. So obviously no Bailey Zappi here. So I don't know what to really say about that. Really, I mean, Mac Jones. Really, I mean, if he was your guy, you would have kept him. You wouldn't want to bench him, but you did bench him, and Bailey played really well. But then the second half, Bailey didn't play as well. So now you're going to go back to Mac Jones, and hopefully that he gets it right against a hungry New York Jets team. Man, I'm telling you, that team is hungry. They basically just traded for James Robinson here to help shore up that running game here, and obviously Elijah Moore here will be back here. Hopefully he can get back in the lineup, and maybe just. I know he wanted to be traded, but the team isn't going to trade you because you feel like you're not getting the ball and he's one of their young great young receivers on there, along with Garrett Wilson and company. That not everybody's going to get the ball all the time. Like, I mean, I guess that's the thing. Everybody thinks when you play on a team that you're supposed to get the ball all the time, and everybody's and that everybody's going to be happy with what happens. Well, you should be happy because you're part of a team, and getting W's should matter. It shouldn't matter your personal stats unless that's all you personally care about. You know, is patenting up the stats here, but. Back to the Mac 10 Jones, the Patriots go, so we'll see how they do with Mac Jones. The Yankees will bring um, back. Well, let's see. Hal Steinbrenner here, George Steinbrenner's children, running that organization, saying they're going to bring back Brett Boone here again. Here, and they said there'll be no changes there. So let's see here. Um, Russell Wilson said he's ready to rock. He says his hamstring feels good to go to play against the Jaguars in London. Oh, jolly old London, jolly old mate. So that will be remain to see if Russell Wilson does play for the Broncos here. That betters their chances a little bit here. I mean, I wouldn't say it gives them a whole hell of a lot chance, but the Eagles are staying aggressive. They make a trade with the Bears for Robert Quinn now. So Robert Quinn is now a Philadelphia Eagle now. He's been traded from the Bears. A lot of speculation, Monday Night Football. Robert Quinn and Roquan Smith going to be gone from that defense. So how does that defense fare against the Cowboys this weekend? Not having the likes of a Robert Quinn here. I think Cowboys definitely are probably going to win that game. I mean, obviously, not having Robert Quinn, that hurts a lot as far as pass rushing for the Bears defense here. But the Bears, they're just trying to get rid of guys and trying to build, obviously new coach. They're trying to bring in new players. They're trying to bring their guys in to fit their program and to fit the things they want to do. All right, the Phillies are starting Aaron Nola in Game 1 of the World Series versus the Astros, and Zach Wheeler will be starting Game 2. So the Phillies have those are the Game 1 and Game 2 starters for the Phillies, Austin Nola, and you got Zach Wheeler. But then obviously, they still have Noah Syndergaard here. They have the pitchers here. So okay, Augusta National, USGA, and PGA of America now included in the DOJ's investigation into golf here. I don't know. So yeah, interesting there. I mean, I don't know what's going on there. Celtics forward Grant Williams suspended 1 game for recklessly making contact with officials. I mean, let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen. Last night when Klay Thompson got ejected for just going like this to Devin Booker, we don't play in the fun league anymore. Guys aren't allowed to, talk smack amongst each other. You're not allowed to I mean, it's not like Klay Thompson said, your mama smells like dirty garbage, and and all that such a nature. But Devin Booker talks that shit too, and that's the reason why his ass don't have no championships right now. It's the reason why he had to go get Chris Paul and all them. Those people out here calling Devin Booker the truth as definitely Kobe's probably in heaven going, damn man, why did I even give this motherfucker the pass? Why did I even give him the Mamba mentality fucking approval here? Because there's no way on this planet that Devin Booker has Kobe Bryant's type of mentality. To me, Devin Booker is he's an all-star, but he's an all-star that can't get it done. And I'm gonna hold myself to that. and I hold myself to saying that Devin Booker is not the truth in the NBA today. And definitely, basically, the Phoenix Suns will not win a championship, basically having him. And I mean, obviously, there's a lot of problems going on in Phoenix. They did, however, beat the Warriors here. They beat the Warriors by 29 points here. So a lot of that had to do with Klay Thompson, but Klay Thompson didn't have the best shooting night of his 2023 season. But yeah, Phillies and Astros World Series will be first without U.S. born African American players since 1950. I guess apparently they're not. They're mostly the players they're all either Dominicans or they're all Haitians, Cubans, whatever. They're not from America. All right, they're not Americans. They're not American African Americans. Americans. So that seems to be the for the most part the news and notes that we need to know about here. So that's we'll break down. Let me sit down here and we're gonna break down this. We'll break down the preview of this week's matchups here in the NFL and college here. We'll run it down very quickly here, so that way we can get into our. So we'll start with college football here. We actually have 3 games here tomorrow night here in college here. So we got Louisiana Lafayette Raging Cajun taking on the Southern Miss Golden Eagles here. I mean, this is a battle of the Sun Belt Conference here. Obviously, the Southern Miss is at home here. And what everybody knows Southern Miss for is old. You know whose college this is. This is Brett Favre's college. Obviously, his daughter goes to the college now for volleyball, and kind of been under a scrutiny here because of the fact that Brett Favre, and he says he didn't misappropriate any funds from welfare fraud from people, this and that nature. But I mean, I don't know. I'm not somebody that's here to get everybody on their sins and their natures and all that. But Southern Miss is favored by 1 point here, so definitely going to be a close game. They think here, either way, it can go either way. Basically, what they're saying. We have a ACC matchup here: the Virginia Tech Hokies taking on the North Carolina State Wolfpack. The Wolfpack are favored to win by 13.5 points on the spread. Obviously, 39.5. I think this is going to be a low-scoring affair between these two teams. So we will see there. And then last but not least, we have the Utah Utes taking on Washington State Cougars here. We got Pac-12 Thursday night action here. The Utes of Utah are the 7-point under. They're 7-point favorites, road favorites here coming into Washington State. So obviously they're playing up in Pullman, Washington is where the Washington State Cougars, the house that Drew Bledsoe and Gardner Minshew built. But yeah, and well, obviously Klay Thompson played at Washington State as well for basketball. But they think 55 points here is the over/under here. Then we have Friday night games here. We have East Carolina going into BYU to face the Cougars. Then we have Louisiana Tech, the Bulldogs, taking on Florida International University. Then, of course, we have Notre Dame Fighting Irish playing the Syracuse Orange. We have the Oklahoma Sooners and the Iowa State Cyclones. We have the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Penn State Nittany Lions game. We have the Florida State Seminoles, Georgia Tech. The Miami, Ohio Redhawks taking on the Akron Zips. So we got some action here. Then we have Boston College Eagles versus the Connecticut Huskies. The Arkansas Razorbacks taking on Auburn Tigers. TCU Horned Frogs taking on West Virginia Mountaineers. We have Toledo Rockets taking on Eastern Michigan Eagles. We have South Florida Bulls taking on the Houston Cougars. We have the Miami Florida Hurricanes taking on Virginia Cavaliers. Recently fired head coach from Charlotte, the 49ers, are taking on the Rice Owls this weekend. We have Rutgers, the Scarlet Knights, taking on the Minnesota Golden Gophers. We have Old Dominion, the Monarch, taking on Georgia State, the Panthers. We have the Florida Gators taking on the Georgia Bulldogs, the Florida Georgia Line. The battle of SEC, battle to see if Florida can keep contention here. But we don't think so here. We think the Georgia Line is going to hold very well. We have the Cincinnati Bearcats taking on the Central Florida Knights. We have the Oklahoma State Cowboys taking on the Kansas State Wildcats. We have Wake Forest Demon Deacons taking on the Louisville Cardinals. We have the New Mexico State Aggies and the UMass Minutemen. We have the Illinois, the Fighting Illini, taking on Nebraska, the Cornhuskers. We have the Temple Owls taking on the Navy Midshipmen. We got Northwestern Wildcats taking on the Iowa Hawkeyes. The Oregon Ducks taking on the Cal Golden Bears. We got North Texas, the Mean Green, taking on the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. We have the SMU Mustangs taking on the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. We have the Missouri Tigers and the South Carolina Gamecocks. We have South Alabama Jaguars taking on Arkansas State, the Red Wolves. We have the Kentucky Wildcats and the Tennessee Volunteers. Coastal Carolina Chanticleers taking on the Marshall Thundering Herd. The UAB Blazers taking on the Florida Atlantic Owls. We have the USC Trojans taking on the Arizona Wildcats. We have Colorado State Rams taking on Boise State Broncos. We have the Michigan State Sparties taking on Michigan Wolverines. We have the Ole Miss Rebels taking on Texas A&M Aggies. The Baylor Bears taking on Texas A&M or Texas Tech, the Red Raiders. We have Arizona State Sun Devils taking on the Colorado Buffaloes. We have Pittsburgh Panthers taking on the North Carolina Tar Heels. We have the Middle Tennessee State Blue Raiders taking on the UTEP, University of Texas El Paso Miners. We have the Nevada Wolfpack taking on the San Jose State Spartans. We have Stanford Cardinal taking on the UCLA Bruins. We have San Diego State Aztecs taking on Fresno State Bulldogs. And last but not least game, we have the Wyoming Cowboys traveling to Hawaii to take on the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. A lot of people that take away the rainbow and just say the Warriors when they're actually the Rainbow Warriors. Nothing. It doesn't have anything to do about anyone's sexual orientation. All right, so let's go to the NFL now. Let's run down NFL Week 8 slate here, and then we'll get into today's slate and break down the games because we'll have surely we'll have maybe less than an hour or so here. It's about 2 minutes to 2:40 here, West Coast time. Obviously, if you're out in the East Coast, it's 5 in the afternoon here, late afternoon, early evening here. So, wherever you are in this beautiful, beautiful planet that we live on here, hopefully you're doing wonderful. And if you like this content, you can subscribe, you can follow, you can send a like, you can send a dislike. You can be like these bots that come in here and just put fucking stupid shit in my chat and everything else. But it's okay. If it's funny, I'll leave it. If it's stupid and derogatory and very, inappropriate, it will be taken off. And if you are a bot, you will be taken care of, okay? And I'm not talking about CP30, okay? All right, we have the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here. Obviously, that is the game Thursday night here. Obviously, the Buccaneers are a favorite right now by 1 point here on the spread here. The over/under is 46 points here, and it's a very interesting line here. I mean, it's much like the Chiefs and the 49ers here. I mean, that line was at 1, and boy, was that a mistake. I thought for sure the Niners would get one and end up beating Kansas City, but Kansas City sure put the beat downs to them. So I don't know. can Tampa Bay turn it around on a short week and get a victory? I'm sure they can, but if I'm not mistaken, I think they're going to be without Antoine Winfield here because he's in concussion protocol. So that hurts. That hurts a lot, because he does a lot as far as stopping the run and also being up in there in the pass. So then we have the early game on Sunday here in London, foggy old London town. We have the Broncos and the Jaguars. The Jaguars are minus 2.5 right now because we don't have word that Russell Wilson is going to be the starter. I mean, once he gets announced, does that really truly affect it? Does the Jaguars go down to a 2, or does it go to a 1.5? I don't know. We'll see. The over under is 39 points there. We have the Bears and the Cowboys early game. We have the Raiders and the New Orleans Saints early game. We have the Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons. That's going to be an interesting game, to say the least. Here, I definitely like that game. Definitely, probably will be betting that game for sure. We have the Battle of Pennsylvania here between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Philadelphia Eagles. Their newly acquired man Robert Quinn will be in the lineup. So I don't know, man. The Steelers played tough against the Dolphins. I'll say that here. But Philadelphia Eagles, I don't know, man. They just seems like they're getting healthier, and they're just. I mean, after getting Robert Quinn, that definitely solidifies their line as getting pass rushing, and definitely going to be a team to be watching as the season progresses on going on onwards march to the playoffs. We have the Miami Dolphins and the Detroit Lions. Another interesting matchup here. We'll see how it fades up here. The Arizona Cardinals and Minnesota Vikings. This game is also in the morning. It's gonna be this one. This is gonna be an interesting game as well. I think. I think the Vikings and the Cardinals. Last year we lost. We lost because we missed a field goal. And then this year, I mean, hopefully we can build on that here. Pat Pete gets a shot at his old team here, so I like it. I like it. We have the New England Patriots at the New York Jets here. Patriots are minus 2.5 now. I think because I don't know because of the Mac Jones news. I don't know, man. I'm not sold on the Patriots right now here. I'm definitely not sold on them here. And yeah, the Jets, even though they lost, Vera Tucker, the offensive tackle there. They lost Mekhi Beckman earlier in this year, so I mean now they're down 2 tackles here. So I'm sure they'll find some way to make it work. And obviously, Brees Hall having the rookie year he was having before he tore his basically tore his whole ACL here, and so then we have the Tennessee Titans and the Houston Texans. That game is going to be in the afternoon here. The Tennessee Titans and the Houston Texans will be on in the afternoon. We have the New York Giants and the Seattle Seahawks. That is also a afternoon game. We have the Washington Commanders taking on the Indianapolis Colts as a late 1 o'clock game, and also the San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams to finish out the late afternoon games. Then we have the 5 o'clock game where we have the Green Bay Packers taking on the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo here. Going to be a great matchup, I believe, here. Green Bay, I mean, I don't know. You mean to tell me? I thought Green Bay definitely was our leading our division here, but I also said that the Vikings would be second place runners. They'd be runners up if the Packers were to slip here in our division. But I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I mean, hopefully the Packers got to figure something out here. They can't just go down the slide and hope that they're gonna and they got to right the ship in a hurry. And what better place to show everybody is if Green Bay can come out and beat the Bills on Sunday night in Buffalo and prove that their season's not a wash. But I don't know. That's going to be a tall task in my opinion here. Buffalo Bills or one of the teams I believe are going to make the Super Bowl here. Definitely one of my picks to make the Super Bowl here. I think they just got it, man. They have it from top to bottom, and and especially if they could try to do something here, as the November 1st is the trade deadline. So you, we will start to see some players going as of today, tomorrow. Uh, Obviously before the deadline, or else basically guys will basically have to ride it out with the team, or teams maybe some teams will cut players. I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna work. Monday night on Halloween, we got a Halloween special. It's a AFC North matchup here between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. Going to be there at the Dog Pound in Cleveland on Halloween, so it's either going to be a trick or treat for Brownie the Elf, or it's going to be a trick or treat for the Bengals here, one of the two. So, all right, so that we got that out of the way here. Now that we got that out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the plays for the day here. Since there's not very many NHL here, we'll start off with NHL first here. All right, we have Rangers and we have the Islanders here. I'm gonna go with the New York Rangers here. I'm gonna lean my play here to the Rangers on the money line, considering the fact that they did lose to Colorado here, and now this is a big game against your in-state rival. Basically, I like the Rangers here. I'll stick with them here. And the next game, the Edmonton Oilers against St. Louis Blues. I like the Blues on the money line. The Blues have been my team last year that I bet on in hockey. I'm not, and no way am I an expert at hockey at any perspective of this. I just look at the teams that I know personally, that I know I've seen play well, that I've watched, or just kind of just catch highlights of teams and just look how they've been doing as of recent years. So I like that a lot here. Tampa Bay Lightning and the Mighty Ducks here. Um, you know, I mean, I've tried to bet on the Ducks before, and they're kind of they're a young team here. But the Lightning are still pretty favorable here. So I would take Tampa Bay on Lightning on the money line here. So those my hockey plays for tonight would be. There are obviously three money lines here. The Rangers money line, that's plus 118. We have St. Louis Blues minus 106 money line, and Tampa Bay Lightning minus 100 minus 161 here. So that is my kind of my reads and plays here. Let's go to basketball here. We have Orlando and we have Cleveland here. Um, I don't know. I kind of I'm leaning. I want to lean with the over here, the over 215.5 here between Cleveland and Orlando. I want to say that both teams will score some points here. Orlando has not won a game, so I mean, is tonight the night that Orlando gets the first W against Cavaliers that have been playing very well here? Obviously Donovan Mitchell here is feeling right at home. He's taking that full control leadership with the rest of the Cavaliers that they have here. So obviously they're more touted than the Magic here. Magic are still a young team here, but I would not write them off. Write them off. So, all right, we got the Atlanta Hawks. We have the Atlanta Hawks taking on the Detroit Pistons. This game, I'm gonna go the under here, under 229.5 here. I just believe Pistons are on a back to back here. Um, I like Atlanta a lot this year. I think Atlanta is definitely somebody that's gonna be tough as long as they can stay healthy here at their guard position here. I like Dejounte Murray and Trey Young as a guard duo. Though they are very solid. They get the job done. They get points up the board. Dejounte Murray can be more of the facilitator, and Trey Young can be more of the sharpshooting trigger trade guy that we know he ultimately is and will be. Pistons, I just think I don't know. I mean, do they have enough to have to get up to play tough again here against? I mean, I know they're at home, but all right. The next game we have the Brooklyn Nets. We have the Brooklyn Nets and we have the Milwaukee Bucks here. The Bucks are undefeated right now here with Giannis and company here, and they're playing at home. They're playing the Brooklyn Nets here, and I mean, I want to take Brooklyn here. I definitely want to take Brooklyn here because I think this is a spot that they can get a W. I would say my lean or my play is definitely. I would say I would definitely lean. I'm leaning right now. I want to lean Nets here, money line here. The over under 231 and a half. It sounds interesting, but I know when I took the under with the Nets and the Grizzlies, it went over. So all right, we have the next game. We have the Charlotte Hornets taking on the New York Knicks here. I'm gonna go under 225 and a half here for the Knicks and Hornets here. I like the Knicks a lot here. I think they're playing well right now as a team. The Hornets, the Hornets are under cheating right now. I mean, they're having, a season where a lot of people just, like, oh man, they don't have Lamelo's hurt, and they got some other guys on Miles Bridges. I mean, they're still playing the game, and they're still, you know, so but I still think, it will be an under type game. That's where I lean. Then we have the 76ers taking on the Raptors here. The Raptors are going home here. Man, dude, I mean, the Raptors. I like the Raptors here, but I'm not sure that. I mean, if Scotty Barnes was playing here and this and that, I would. But I'm gonna have to say the over here. I'm gonna go with the over here. I'm gonna go the over 211 and a half. All right, so we're moving on to the next game here. We got the Timberwolves taking on the Spurs here. Spurs have been one of those teams that have been kind of quiet, and they just kind of against Timberwolves tonight here. I mean, just we got 234 here. I bet the under on that before here, and yeah. But I'm gonna my lean here. I'm gonna take the Spurs plus the 9 here. I don't know. I don't like it here. It's my play here. But Spurs have been one of those feisty teams. And we have the Pacers and we have the Chicago Bulls. I like to take the under 234 and a half points here. So I like that here. The Pacers, I don't know. I mean, both teams here kind of just trying to fill it out, get the feelers under, trying to get their peripheral bearings under them, trying to get used to each other, trying to figure things out, trying to have a decent record to start out here. Obviously, it's just the beginning of the season. It hasn't really, and so yeah, so I like the under. I definitely like the under 234 and a half in the Bulls and Pacers. Rockets and the Jazz here. Last time I took Rockets money line against them to get their first win here. The Jazz here tonight. I think, and they didn't really have all their players, so I think some players are going to be coming back, like Jason Tate. I think some Sagoon. I think, unless I don't know, unless he's out for a little while here. I am gonna be in the likes of taking. I'm. I'm gonna go under 233. I know they probably will go over that, but I like the under 233. Let's see the Heat and the Trailblazers. I mean, the Trailblazers have been playing well as of late here. They surely have. They have surely proven. And I got burned. I got burned by picking the Heat minus the 3. So I think I'm leaning my play here with the Trailblazers here on the money line. What's up, gangster? Oh, I don't know. They fucking went down. The police went down there last night. And then Lakers and Nuggets. Man, I don't know, man. I mean, Nuggets minus 5. That's not bad here, but I don't know. I think I'll lean under 229.5 here. So that's 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 what I'm leaning towards here as far as my picks tonight here. We're going to we're gonna look at some parlays right now. We're gonna look at some player bet prop parlays here. I want to see here what the numbers are here as far as that is concerned here for our players here tonight here. All right, obviously we have all picks here. Is that game first? Is that game second? Well, they put Hawks one here. All right, so we got Trae Young here to have over 30.5 points, rebounds, to have over 44.9 fantasy points, to have over higher or lower than 36.5 points. That's points and assists. 13.5 rebounds and assists. 40.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Over under 27.5 points as the over under for him. 3.5 3-pointers to be made tonight here, and 9.5 assists for Trigger Trey here. Then we have DeJounte Murray. We got 15.5 rebounds and assists together. We have 36.5 points, rebounds, and assists. We have 29.5 points plus assists. We have 7 rebounds over under 44.6 fantasy points, higher or lower 21.5 actual points here, higher or lower, 8 assists, higher or lower, and 28.5 points and rebounds. Then we have John Collins here. We have 8.5 rebounds, higher or lower. We have 16.5 points, higher or lower, 24.5 points and rebounds. We got DeAndre Hunter over here, obviously to get a 20.5 points, rebounds, and assists, to get a half a steal, higher or lower, 18.5 points and rebounds, 3.5, higher or lower. Let's see, 16.5 points and assists, 15.5 points, higher or lower, 1.5 3-pointers made, 5 higher or lower, rebounds and assists together. Clint Capella 9.5. So we got and you got Justin Holiday there. We got Cade Cunningham here. We got Jaden Ivey here. Let's see. Let's see this Jalen Duran guy here. Let's see what he did yesterday. Yeah, so he had 14 here. So yeah, so he definitely would points plus rebounds and assists. I mean, he had 14 yesterday here. He had 9, then he had 18 here. So I mean, let's see. He played 23 minutes, 18, 22. So he plays. So definitely, yeah. So I don't know. Pablo definitely cash for me here. He's been a cash machine as far as taking his points here. He has 20, 23. He had 21 against the Knicks here, so he's playing. So I mean, definitely somebody. Maybe I'm definitely taking his points higher, tonight. But I mean, there's gonna be a lot of challenges there. I mean, obviously, Franz Wagner. I'm staying away from him because he fucking screwed me here. Bol here. Let's see what Bol did here. Let's see what Bol action here. He had 19. Bol had 19 points, 5 rebounds, 4 blocks, 2 turnovers in 20 minutes here. So he comes off the bench here. So tonight, for him to have higher than 6, I mean, we'll see about that. Donovan Mitchell here. And Mobley here. You got Jarrett here. Karis LeVert. Kevin Love. We got Sadie Osman here. We got Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, he went off last game, so I don't know. Maybe it's a Kyrie Irving night here. I don't know. Giannis here. Giannis get 32. Well, he has to get like 33 points. So Grayson Allen here. Got Joel Embiid. PJ Tucker. You got Pascal Siakam. Siakam here. 2.5 turnovers here. Let's see. He's had 5, so he's had 1, and he's at 3, 1, and 5 here. So for him to play against Philly and turn the ball over at least 3 times could be a possibility. We got Fred VanVleet here. Fred VanVleet. Let's see about his steals here. He had 4 against Brooklyn. He had 3. He had 3 against Miami, and then he had 1. So he had total 4 against Miami total in both games. So for him to get he's got to get 2 steals tonight. I don't know, a little bit too much for my liking. Gary Trent Jr. to have 1 turnover here. I mean, he's had at least a turnover in the last 2 games here against. But let's see about that. Looks like they're looking for somebody out here. I don't know what's going on. I do not know what's going on. Got Kelly Oubre, PJ Washington, Mason Plumlee, Jalen McDaniels here. This motherfucker Nick Richards, yeah, that some bitch. They got Dennis Smith Jr. and they have James Bouknight here. Got R.J. Barrett here. You got Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson here. So yeah. Uh, Sip this, Brandon Ayuk or Gabriel Davis. Sorry that I missed your question. Brandon Ayuk or Gabriel Davis this week. I would say Gabriel Davis. I mean, I like Brandon Ayuk as well, but I think Gabriel Davis, especially against Green Bay, on Gabriel Davis is definitely a favorite target by Josh Allen. So I would definitely take Gabriel Davis over Brandon Ayuk. I know the Niners, uh, 49ers, they have a matchup against the Rams here, and they usually and the Rams are kind of whatever itself. But I think Gabriel Davis this week over Brandon Ayuk. Sorry if I didn't answer your question right away, but man, I definitely I definitely appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that question. It is a very valuable, great question because Ayuk is a a vital part of the 49ers offense going forward, obviously. And so same thing with Gabriel Davis. Him and Stephon Diggs are basically the two go-to guys for Josh Allen, and I definitely like Josh Allen against the Packers and 5 o'clock game and Gabriel Davis, and I think he's definitely going to shine out there. I think there's a lot of injuries in that secondary that's gonna hurt the Packers. So I definitely lean Gabriel Davis over Brandon Ayuk this week in fantasy. So sip this if you see this and you come back to it, man. Hopefully I answered your question. But yeah, I definitely like Gabriel Davis over Brandon Ayuk this week. All right. So all right. So let's put the parlay into use here. We'll we'll chop off some games that we believe that we don't think that we like or we're kind of like want to bet here. Um, I'm going to this Lakers Nuggets. I'm gonna stay away from that game. I don't know. Something's just telling me to stay away from that game. Um, Rockets and Jazz too. I think this is another game I definitely yeah. I think Spurs. I definitely don't like the Spurs and Timberwolves game. This Jazz game. I definitely don't like that here. Uh, Trailblazers and Heat. I mean, I like the Blazers, man. They're definitely an underachieving team right now, and they're playing at home. So Miami Heat hasn't been playing well. So I'm and then the under 234.5. I mean, I'm pretty satisfied with that between the Bulls and the Pacers. I mean, they might be able to do that, but 76ers and the Raptors here. I took the over 211.5 here, so it's got to go 212 here. I think I don't know. Both these teams definitely probably play a little slower, a more slower pace. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely gonna have to be some high scoring affair there. So the under 225.5 for the Knicks game. I like that. I think I'm gonna take away this. I'm gonna take away the Orlando game here. Take away the Orlando game here, and I just feel like this this would be. I mean, the Brooklyn Nets at the Nets at the Bucks here. I don't know. I just feel like Nets have got to do something here, and what better game to do that against but against Giannis and them. So and then we have the hockey games here. We have the three hockey games here. I like the Rangers. I like the Blues. I think I'm gonna take off. I'm gonna take off the Lightning and the Ducks game here. I think that I don't mind the Rangers money line or the St. Louis Blues money line. Definitely key there. And all right. So So yeah, I would probably, I'm not shocked to be able to put this as a lineup here, but yeah, that's what we're gonna do here, and we're gonna make that we're gonna make that our bet here. Hold on, so we gotta make our bet here. Lock our bet in here, so that way we know exactly what we're doing here. All right, so we're gonna lock this baby in here. We're gonna lock it in here, so that way we know exactly what we're betting here. All right, so we know today's bet here. All right, the 26th here. All right, so we got Ken's multi. All right, so we got it's for 1026 here. If anybody else has got any fancy questions, whether while I'm writing my parlay down, please feel free. I will answer them as best as I can, as I believe that was a good question. So I thank you. I thank you for that question. I mean, that's a tough question. So some people that's a tough question right there. Because Brandon Ayuk is definitely a vital part of the 49ers offense going forward. And same with Gabriel Davis. And I mean, obviously, matchup wise, you have the 49ers taking on the Rams, and you obviously have Buffalo Bills taking on the Packers at home. Excuse me. I'm just a big believer in Gabriel Davis. I like Gabriel Davis a lot. I mean, I like Brandon Ayuk. If you can't get a Debo Samuel of that team, you definitely go for Brandon Ayuk because he definitely is a speedster and he definitely gets that notation. All right, so we got New York Rangers here tonight on the money line. And so those of you that want to understand what the money line just means you're taking them straight up. So they just got to straight up win. Whether they win by 1, they win by 15, they just got to win. And then we're taking the St. Louis Blues here. St. Louis Blues here on the money line, and that's minus 105 here. And then we obviously got our NBA bets here. We took the under 229 and a half points in this Hawks and Pistons game here. I mean, I like I definitely think the Pistons are a decent team here. It's just playing against Atlanta is gonna be tough, especially in a back to back. So we got the yeah, we got the Brooklyn Nets here on the money line here. I'm taking them plus 129 to beat the Milwaukee Bucks here. I have the under 225 and a half points the between the Hornets and the Knicks. All right, then I have the over 211 and a half here. It's between the 76ers and the Raptors. Um, and yeah, then I have the under 234 and a half points between the Pacers and the Bulls, minus 110. And I'm taking the Portland Trailblazers here on the money line here tonight. Plus 117 here. So if we take our dollar and our 8 bets, all 8 bets cover, that dollar will turn from $1 to $279.95 here. So that is our that is our that is our parlay for the day here that we just made here. So let's read it once again here. We got the New York Rangers money line plus 118. We have the St. Louis Blues money line minus 105. We have the under 229.5 points between the Hawks and the Pistons. We have Brooklyn Nets money line plus 129. We have the under 225.5 points between the Hornets and the Knicks. We have the over 211 between the 76ers and the Raptors. We have the under points between the Pacers and the Bulls, and we have the Portland Trailblazers money line. So that is our parlay here as far as team parlay. Now, as far as my prop bet parlay here, I'm gonna take I need to take a harder look at it here because last night I definitely failed myself last night here. I had a couple good catches, but then it just wasn't what I liked it to be. So let's take a look at that here. It's kind of a little bit of warm up in here. I got my little wife beater, and excuse me, I'm a skinny dude, but that's what I am. I'm not afraid to show people who I am, and whether people make fun of me or whatever, it doesn't matter. Sticks and stones. You know, sticks and stones they break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Let's see, my man AO. AAO, AO. Let's see how's he been playing as of late here. He had 22, so he had a big performance. But can he have 10 tonight here? Can he have 10 tonight against the Pacers? That's gonna be interesting. Keldon Johnson here. See, Keldon Johnson's been a guy that he's been killing it. He's been crushing it for the Spurs. Definitely somebody you definitely need to have in it. So he had 18. So he had 23. He had 21, and he had 18 here. So that's why his points are at 21 and a half right now. So, and they're playing the Timberwolves here. So I mean, I wouldn't for him to get 21. I mean, it's not unlikely here. And then you got Shochan here. He had 14 here. He had 14 here. So Edwards. Oh, I did pick Edwards one time here. I kind of want to pick my man Jabari Smith tonight. I kind of want to pick him tonight here. And he did have a hell of a game against him last time. Against Utah last time, he had 21. He had 21. He had 9 rebounds here. I mean, does he go over 8 rebounds tonight here? 15 years. So he's played this team before, and he got 21 in 33 minutes here. So does he get 15 here? And let's see. He had 9. He had 9. He had 11. So rebounding, I don't know. Rebound maybe. I mean, especially against the Jazz here. All right, we'll do that here. I'll take his points. I'll take that he's gonna get 16 points here. Laura Markle in here. Yeah, Kelly Olynyk. Got Rudy Gay and Chardonnay here. We got Talon Talon Horton Tucker here. He's at 8.79. So I don't know. Basically, can you hit one 3-pointer here? I don't know. Let's see, Denver here. Good old Lonnie Walker here. Good old Lonnie. So is Lonnie been playing well? Let's see. Let's see how. Let's see. Let's see. Well, he had 26 against the Clippers, and he had 15. He had 15 against, and he's played. Wow, he played 36. He played 32 minutes. So I mean, he's getting some playing time. So, I mean, I wouldn't see why not. Patrick Beverly here. He cleared blocks. See, he had 2 against the Warriors. He had 2 against the Lakers. He didn't have any. He didn't have any blocks. He didn't have any blocks against the Joker here. Well, he had 1 block against the Thunder here, but he only played 26 minutes against. That was his recent game against the Trailblazers. So I don't know. Did he get hurt? And against the Lakers tonight, I think he could probably get a block here. I mean, I wouldn't put it past him here. So maybe we do that here, and then he gets at least 1 block here. Got Jimmy Buckets here. With my man Tyler Hero. Nope. See, they took off. See, they knew. See, they knew. They do better than give him the half a steal like I've been cashing with Tyler Hero with that. 3-pointers. Can he make more than against the Trailblazers? We'll have to see. Kyle Lowry. Damn, he had 17, but then he had 7. Kind of scares me there. But yeah, Kyle Lowry's a guy that could probably get it done. And assists, he had 6, and they had 2. So we're not. Yeah, see Caleb Martin here. All right, so he had 8. He had 4, 8. Yeah. He had 1 steal, so. And against Portland, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he does something against Portland. I don't know. About Gabe Vincent here. Yeah, well, he's had a steal. He doesn't really get too many minutes. Instead of taking Tyler Hero, maybe take Gabe Vincent steal. Maybe he gets a steal because he just has to get 1. That's Dame, got Anthony Simmons, got Josh Hart here, Jeremy Grant here. All right, so far we've kind of taken. Nerd here. I mean, he's had a block in every game. Yusuf Nurkic, he's had a block in every game. So far he's had a block in every game. So I mean, is this the game he doesn't get a block? I don't know. Like I said, here, this Gabe guy here. I mean, he had a steal last game. He got a steal last game. I mean, he only had 20. He's in for 25 minutes, so he has time. He has time to do it. So I'd say. I mean, I'm in the fortune of trying to pick some new players here. All right, so let's maybe look up here. Let's look up here towards the top here, towards the guys that we know here. Yeah. Um. Again, I think I'm gonna ride. I'm gonna ride Pablo again, man. I'm gonna ride Pablo again here. I think he definitely. I think I take Pablo here, and then this guy he's had a steal. This guy's had a steal. All he has to do is get one. About this DeAndre Hunter kid here. He's had a steal. Just want to try to pick somebody. DeJounte Murray here. I mean, it seemed like, look at it. It seemed like he had more points. He had more points. He had a filled out game here. He had more of a filled out game. Him have 8 assists here. I mean, you know what? We'll take DeJounte Murray. So this is the one I think. I think this is the one we're gonna go with here. Jabari Smith here to have over 15 and a half points against the Jazz here. He's a rookie for the Houston Rockets. So he's got to score 16 points for us to cash. I have the Nikolai, the Joker, to have higher than half a block, so he's got to have at least one. I have Gabe Vincent, the matchup against the Trailblazers, to have over a half a steal. I took Pablo Ranchero to have 19 and a half points here, so to have a big game. And then DeJounte Murray to have over 8 assists here. And so I think that's where we're gonna leave it here today. We're gonna leave it at that here, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna leave it at that, so I can get my parlay, get my player parlays put in. But yeah, but yeah, today was Wednesday. We had a little fun today here. I know I didn't really get to talk too much about fantasy as far as fantasy waiver wires, but we'll do that tomorrow. We'll do that tomorrow because we have a lot of things to go into. We'll probably be on here a little bit earlier. But anybody has any questions, I appreciate Sip This for putting in the fantasy questions. Any fantasy questions, any team comments, any concerns, anything, like I said, as long as it is valuable and to what we're talking about, I will do my best to try to answer your questions. Sometimes I kind of just, I'm on my own zone and I don't see your questions right away, but I do answer them. So if a sip this, you want to go back to in archives to see what I actually said, who to take, I definitely said take Gabe Davis over Brandon Ayuk this week, my man. So, so with that being said, this is Fresh and Funky, aka Kenny Can, on the motherfucking ones and twos. And I will be back tomorrow and we'll talk about, we got NFL, we got Thursday night football, we got some college games, we got hockey. We'll dive more into fantasy and all that other good stuff here. We'll tie it all in and we try to do this here. I'm not, I've only been doing this for a year, and it's just me and myself just doing this. I got to get, green screen obviously in the back to have all cool shit and this and that. But this is a process of me learning stuff and learning how to do things on my own and not having somebody else carry me along the way. I want to do all the hard work. I don't mind if people help me along the way. I just don't want to be the one that fucking somebody else, take credit for work that's not even my work. So this is how I operate. This is what I do. I mean, lucky I don't have a fucking blackboard or I don't have like a chalk. I don't have something up here and we're writing shit down, which could be in the order. Could be in order for future things. Just have my thing in the back, write down this and that, and da da da. That way people can actually see what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. But until then, I hope everybody has a wonderful and blessed Wednesday. The rest of your day and the rest of your week. It's the middle of the week. We can get through it. And hopefully, we can cash some bets if you're gambling. And please, if you are gambling, please do it responsibly. Please do not do any illicit gambling, any illicit drug use, or any of that type of nature, because we do not co-sign that shit. We don't co-sign any of that bullshit. Not around here. So, for Fresh and Funky, for the Playz and Parlayz, from for 1026, we are out of here. We are out of here.